What's up, Solutionaries? Welcome everybody to the Maj 2 Ray Show. I'm your host, Maj 2 Ray. It is Wednesday, October the 15th, the year 2025. So they say, because you know, Gregorian calendar, Augustus, and those guys changing things around. What's up, y'all? Wasn't going to talk to y'all till November. What's up? What's up, Cyclops? Wasn't going to talk to y'all in November. Said I got to do more. We Solutionaries, we got to do more. We got to do more. We got to do more. You guys know that I work. We had October the 31st is our last day for fundraising. We way behind. We need a bunch of money to raise to buy our Solutionary Center, and we need everybody's support. Want to ask everybody, tonight's show, share it all over the place. Y'all know the routine. Come in, comment if you want to. Tell me where you watch, what city. If you on X, hit the repost button. On Facebook, any other platform, just share the space all over the place. But again, guys, wasn't going to talk to y'all for 2 weeks because the primary objective is getting our fundraising goal. I hate losing. I actually might hate losing more than I learn winning, right? Than I like winning. And I would hate to get this close and fail. So I was like, yo, I'm going to fall back off of the show to focus. But nah, what I will do is I'll make the show. We're going to jam-pack as much information and conversation as we can in 45 minutes. I'll commit to 45 minutes instead of it being 2 hours. The shows will get into like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I want to make sure that we still engaging, we still sharing, we still growing the channel. All right? GiveSendGo.com/Solutionaries where you guys can support the work. We need about 439 or something like that donors at the $100 level and all of that. But anyway, I'll talk about that throughout tonight's show. You guys have heard it. This Politico article that you see right here on X has had about 34 million views. The stories come out that a leaked group chat from the Young Republicans and their bigotry. So we're going to talk about that a lot tonight. Guys, give me, y'all know also, we try to get 10 folks to give $20 in super chats per episode. I want to ask everybody, if you are going to give a super chat, when you get some value from the show, please name a small business. Please, somebody that you know that does good community work or something like that, put their name, put their business, even if it's yours, your social media, put it in the chat. I want to ask everybody to do that. But that's all of the housekeeping. We're going to go through some more of that throughout the night. But these are the articles that I talked about this on social media earlier today. And honestly, there's a nuanced argument. Thank you, Chosen One, for reposting the stream. Who in here? Let me give some shout outs real quick. Point Blank, what's up? Our brother Bearded Cyclops said he's sliding to YouTube. Appreciate you. Dodge City rocks. Point Blank is tapping in from North Carolina. Mohagan, what's up? Mohagan is our Solutionary of the month. Mohagan also just got her CDL. We love that. Tapping in, grinding, trucking across the country. As someone that's driven across the country multiple times in our RV, it's an amazing, amazing experience. So Naturally Armed, if you're watching in Jersey, please, if you need firearms instruction in the state of New Jersey, go see Naturally Armed. She will get you right in the state of New Jersey. Protocol tapping in from Savannah, Georgia. What's up? Again, thank you to Chosen One for that repost. If you're watching on X, hit the repost button. So again, guys, this story is this leaked group chat and Young Republicans, and it's racist. Now, it's Politico, so I got to be careful. Politico can sometimes get right. Sometimes Politico go a whole different direction. You consider the source when you're reading articles. The source as well as why is this coming out right now? What's the reason? Is it a deflection? Is it a whatever it is? Okay? Somebody said the YouTube stream is bugging. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can't really check it out in the YouTube stream. I think the YouTube stream's going good for me. But y'all let me know. Let me know. Let me make sure. Let me turn all of this other stuff off. Let me make sure just in case. But give me some comments in the chat if that's the case. But anyway, when these type of stories come out, you should evaluate the source of who's writing it. What is their angle? What is their reason? Right? Especially if it's someone that's not absolutely right of center, if the story is critiquing or attacking people on the right. Okay? Mohagan says I got a BBL, not a CDL. That's hilarious. Big Rob says the YouTube is acting up. Y'all let me know what's up. I'm seeing it fine on my end, so I'm going to keep pushing. Maybe y'all might need to go to a different angle, a different whatever. So anyway, guys, when I see this, I immediately start looking at how people are responding. The first thing is I go read the article. Let's read this article, and I'm going to tell you guys my perspective. This won't be a fully organic reaction because I read some of these things already, but I took some notes, and I want to give you guys my perspective. Now, again, this morning, I read the text themselves, and I had questions, but also I read what other people, conservatives and libertarians' response to this is. And I'm honestly gonna tell you, their response has been fucking trash. Generally, the response has been 1,000% trash. But let's read the article real quick, and let's get to it. And I want to hear you guys' perspective in the chat. Okay, New York leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide and lauded Republicans who they believed supported slavery. William Hendrix, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the words nigga and nigga, variations of a racial slur, more than a dozen times in a chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to the rape as epic. Peter Giunta, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. Let me stop right there. Okay? I want to be very clear with y'all. I don't take these things as jokes, and some of y'all are going to be upset with me about tonight's breakdown of this. Not only do I not take these things as jokes, but I also am not surprised or moved by this shit. Okay? I'm in no way, shape, or form moved by people. This is not because it's not surprising. I've told y'all I've traveled around the country for years doing our work with BGM, I've spoken at CPAC. I've been in these rooms, so I'm not surprised and I'm not moved, but the tactics for me aren't necessarily the goofballs that are in the text chat, nor do I think that it's just the homies busting it up. Because when it's the homies busting it up from all, like my military friends, if they're white, if they're black, if they're Asian, if they're Mexican, they'll make fun of each other to each other in front of each other's face. That's what the group chat looks like. Okay? So this weird fucking approach by some people on the right to try to downplay this as if it's just the boys will be boys, right? Type shit. It's not, because if you really felt this way, you would make jokes about people to their face, or if they were in the group chat as well. So I want to throw that out there first. My argument today isn't necessarily about whether speech should be censored. That's not what the argument is, and that's what some people are trying to deflect it into. They'll deflect it into, speech shouldn't be censored, and this is what they were saying in a private group. Yeah, a private political group that's supposed to be talking about winning fucking elections. This Republican-led House and Senate could not get suppressors off the NFA list. The young Republicans are more thinking about talking and sounding edgy and joking more than doing the work. And we see this with people in the gym. We see this with people all over the place. So I want to be very clear what my position on the critique of this is about. This ain't no cancel culture shit. Now, if private companies decide to get rid of these goofballs, then that's on them, right? But I want to be clear about the approach, and I want to be clear about how this is impactful for us that identify as right of the aisle politically. That's what we tap into the Mod 2 ratio for. Solutions, because we're solutionaries. So I want to be clear about that. So this ain't just the boys being boys, some crazy college kids. This is a group chat of national Republicans supposing to be having conversations about political movement. So what happens if there's black conservatives in this group? Did you deliberately leave black conservatives out? But I'll get to that. Giunta was referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation, the GOP's 15,000-member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. Quote, I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. Two of the members responded. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to the gas chamber. When do we start bullying, dude? We have a solid 3 people who can probably have them want to jump. If they vote for us, or why would they be gassed? When do we bring that side out? I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people burn now. We got to pretend we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower and relax. Boom, they're dead. Now, this is the part where y'all going to be mad at me. This is where y'all going to be mad at me. I don't think that shit is that deep. That I do think that that's people just kind of shooting the shit a little bit. That's what I think. This shit, my spirit, like that part of me been dead on the inside. My dark humor is dark humor, but it gotta be funny, right? It gotta be funny. So these are the people having this conversation haphazardly about, and I'm not mad at them. My job is to point out the contradiction. Okay? I just want to point out the contradiction so we can evolve from it. First of all, you have to believe that every single form of communication is motherfucking going to get out to the public. Play it that way. If you want to be safe, that's one. Now you can say, I get to say what I want. Cool, you do. But this is from the same group of people that love to conveniently say, when it's convenient or expedient, to say freedom of speech doesn't make consequences. They pick and choose when they want to say that shit, right? But when this happens, right, this joking style, I'm not mad at it. It's the contradiction, because these are the same types of people that literally a month and a few days ago were calling for cancel culture for people that said anything in a joking or serious manner about Charlie Kirk being murdered. My job as the solutionary in charge, and that's curating the movement that we're all a part of and developing, is to show the contradiction so we don't repeat it. And the right and the left, more recently the left is quiet because they got their ass whipped and they don't have no real power. We've already fucking destroyed the left, right? We've already destroyed the left. Their policies are shit. Young people are going in a direction that's not leftist, generally. Fucking David Hogg, the new kid that they tried to slide into Charlie Kirk's spot, that kid didn't even fucking make it longer than a week. Everybody saw the bullshit. We don't have to argue to try to beat the left at this point. What we have to do is people that are politically on the right side of the aisle, we have to make sure that we're galvanizing young people back to the principles of limited government. In this chat that is made available, meaning this portion of it from this Politico article, right? I don't hear conversation about political strategy. Now, this does not mean that in this 29-page text thread that however Politico got it, this doesn't mean that it's not in there. I'm just saying that we have to highlight the contradiction. So when we're talking to younger people, trying to galvanize people that are moderates from the left and get them over here, we're not running right into the same argument that the left has painted us as. Okay? We're just not. Now, I don't think that this is, I want y'all to be very clear. This is not me trying to be funny. I think I get the context of how this was sent. I get the context of it. However, I don't get to do those things and then say those things hoping that they remain private. Then when they go public because a political news outlet or something like that gets access to them, you got to maintain that freedom of speech, but without freedom of consequences. Our contradiction on the right is we want to pick and choose, or we want to come up with justifications. The real challenge is for people to maintain the standard that you say you're about. So if the conversation is we Republicans, we libertarians, we independents, we conservatives, we liberty-minded folk, believe in what the founding documents are, because that's how I walk around this joint, living it. I ain't got time to talk it because I'm walking it. If you really live that shit, this type of shit wouldn't, again, it would be joking if it's my Jewish homie that's making fun of me, that's I'm the black homie, and my white homie's making fun of the Latin homie, and we all on it together. Like military dudes do. Man, where you from the fucking South? Like I joke my friends that are Dallas Cowboys fans, right? So I understand that, but the argument is now we're talking about not these people making these light ass so-called jokes, which are corny as shit. Okay? We're not arguing about them. I'm looking at the people responding to this, but let's read a little bit more. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. Joe Maligno, who previously identified himself as the general counsel for the New York State Republicans, wrote back. I'm ready to watch people burn now, I'm going to skip all of that. I just read it. The exchange is part of a trove of telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. Let me be very clear, y'all. That is in summation what I said in my post. I made 3 posts about this morning that I put out on X, and then I shifted them over to Instagram just because I like the aesthetic of having 3 back to back, right? But this is how y'all talk when you don't think nobody's looking. Now, the beauty of this is when I watch the other people try to defend it, as opposed to going, that's dumb. It has nothing to do with the political advancement of our movement. And all right, cool. It's not the end of the world, but it's stupid. When we try to justify it and go, oh, well, and I get some of y'all might think I'm justifying it by going, that's not that deep, right? Because when I'm razzing my homies back and forth, we going for the jugular. But again, this is 2 homies to each other. If you knew, you wouldn't say it to your Spanish homie, your Asian homie, right? While they're in it, stop pretending like it's a joke. It's not an inside joke. This is how you actually view other Americans. And that is the problem. That's the problem. Instead of us focusing on how we can, and the conservative and liberty movement, instead of us maintaining a standard, America got fucked over, and it's in the place that it is right now because all of the standards went out the window. Now men can be women, women can be men. We play with the girls' sports, whatever. No physical fitness standards. You got generals or whatever they are in the military wearing dog masks. The standard of civics. You allowed this to happen. So people on the right that can complain and say it was the left, they culturally took over, legislatively took over. Why isn't your primary focus to fucking work? I wasn't going to do the show until November the 1st because our primary objective right now is to get the fundraising goal. But then I said, you know what, Maj, you're just going to have to cut the shows a little bit short, but you still got to fucking do the show. Got to do more. So I'm going to ask everybody to support the work, obviously. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary. But instead of the people, especially pundits and influencers, instead of you making your focus, y'all said some dumb shit. What time do y'all have to be talking about this for 7 months? Where is your political strategy in this political telegram group? Politically, it's a dumbass fucking idea to put shit like that on Telegram in the first place. Forget if Politico gets hold of it. Somebody get a hold of your phone and screenshot it. Stop. But instead of the influencers doing that, they double down on, my group chats are kind of wild. Yeah, your group chats between people that are in on the joke. And if you are saying that my group chats are making fun of Jews, black people, fellow Americans, then you fucking fallen off the standard of what the founding documents were. See, that's the difference. What ideals are you aspiring to and trying to manifest and live in? My post this morning was, I want to live Christ-like. Since most of these people identify as Christian, I want to live up to the ideals of the Constitution or the founding documents. Notice I keep saying documents, not the founding fathers, because they had big contradictions. And we all know what the fuck they were. That does not mean that the documents that they wrote down and they weren't fire. And it also doesn't mean that they didn't attempt to try to end the biggest scourge known to man, which is privately owned slavery. Bookworm had a good statement here. What happens in the Solutionary non-telegram? White, Asian, everything in between. We challenge each other. We push each other to a fucking standard. Solutionaries. There's white people in there. There's joking in there. We razz on each other a little bit. But you know what we're not doing in there? We are critical of the Israeli government. I've been open about that. I leave a lot of that conversation to a lot of people. But you know what's not happening in there? It's not people going collective mindset. It's all of the Jews. First of all, you motherfuckers think that Ashkenazi Jews are the only type of Jews, and they're not. So you're talking about Jews, completely ignoring Sephardic Jews from all over the fucking world. And the connection even between Rastafarians and Judaism. You're ignoring all of that because you're not aware of it. But you know what doesn't happen in our group? We are critical of the thing. Point Blank says, wait, there's white people in the group? Hell no. He's being facetious. That's a funny joke. This is a perfect example right here before I go back to the point. Point Blank is in our Solutionary Telegram group, our private group. Everybody that donates at the $100 level, you get access to our private community along with the other things. Classes, modules, videos, transformative information. That at the end of this information, you will be balanced and better and more powerful. Boom, okay? But Point Blank just joked and said, wait, it's white people in there? That's a joke. That's a race-based joke. That's funny that everybody gets it because we understand the intent. Nobody in the Solutionary 9 is in our private community is going, we're not mincing around from, fuck yeah, the Israeli government is wrong. Bibi is wrong. They're not going to uphold the fucking ceasefire. Why are they not? Because they haven't fucking before. The IDF is trash. But you know what doesn't happen? We then go, it's the Jews, all of them. The same as I'm not going, it's the whites because I happen to be black. It's the whites, all of them. Same as none of the white dudes in the Solutionary 9 are going, it's the blacks, all of them. Y'all let these pundits get a hold of something and go, well, it's not that bad. I mean, instead of critiquing the thing, you double down and go, don't fold to the leftists. This ain't folding to the leftists. This is irresponsible fucking texting and people just pretending like, people thinking that nobody's. It's the watermelons. It's the watermelons is what we have so much watermelon in the Solutionary 9 group that everybody's chill. Blood, no, all jokes aside, fucking your blood, watermelon is actually a fucking superfruit. But even if we were joking in the chat, right? There would be black, white, Asian, a group of people in on the joke. This isn't us talking about we shouldn't joke about things. This isn't us being extra sensitive to the topic. The jokes just need to be funny. And you have to make a decision when you're losing. Your entire country is losing. The president of the United States is getting on camera and saying that the economy's doing great. That is a fucking lie. The Republican president. And the young Republicans are out here for 7 months, damn near the same amount of time that this president has been in office. Fucking over making jokes about shit. I don't care about the topic, really. I care more so about what are you doing, young people? Are you going in the direction of the plant, the bigots that are being presented to you? And I'm watching all of these people make shift and like, oh, that's the wave now? It's fun to just make fun of all groups of people. First it was DEI. Then it was this. Then it was that. Then it was, oh, the transgenders are, as opposed to what happened to us being all Americans with different ideologies that in the battlefield of ideas, we need to critique those ideas and strengthen ourselves on the legislative tip so we don't allow those ideas to bleed into legislation and policy. Oh, but we're not running for office. Oh, our young Republicans across the entire country for 7 months is talking about racial jokes and about who's going to get voted to be the president to make fun. This clique country club bullshit. I've had the same conversation about the libertarians. Y'all let some of these libertarians get on these fucking platforms, and they can. But you now play into this white nationalist trope. Do you want to be a white nationalist, or do you actually want to embody what the fucking founding documents were about? Which one? You got to pick one. And our conversation is solutionaries, because as a libertarian, I am right of the political aisle. A lot of people don't even know the fucking difference between a libertarian and a Republican. So I'm in by default. Okay? But my job is to communicate with you guys how this shit is stupid and it's dumb. And it's not young people. It's not young people. I got something on that real quick. Let's look at this. Let me show y'all this real quick, y'all. There's JD Vance. I'm going to play this real quick for y'all. Let me pause this. Let me switch over. Guys, support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Let me show y'all this. This is JD Vance, the vice president, right? Talking about this. Let's hit play. Let's see what JD said. Somebody said no audio. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but I'm going to tell y'all what it say. Vance on the public outrage over the I Love Hitler group chat. Grow up. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. That's what kids do. These are not fucking kids. The ringleaders of this conversation are 2 years younger than JD Vance. I told y'all earlier in the age from this article, the age of the young Republicans goes from 18 to 40 years old. Y'all keep making these dumbass fucking excuses. JD Vance, you're the fucking vice president. Talking this boys will be boys dumb shit. The oldest person in that chat is 2 years younger than JD Vance. Shut the fuck up. This lazy boys will be boys instead of maintaining a standard. We are so quick to say the standards need to be upheld in the military. The standards need to be upheld in the schools. All of that shit. Why are we ignoring the standard as it relates to young Republicans that are vying to be in political positions 18 to 40, which means some of them hold political offices now? This lazy, blow it under the rug, not trying to fucking actually push forward and maintain a standard here. That's what the concern, if you're watching, this is what your fucking concern should be if you identify as right of center, right of the political aisle. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job and another job officer was rescinded. Let me be clear. I don't champion cancel culture. I don't. But that's me. If they worked for my company, I would evaluate a whole bunch of other different things and make a decision. However, they don't fucking work for Solutionary University. They don't. They work for whatever job that they had, and that private company said, no, thank you. The irony is now we're hearing people say, oh, that's messed up that their jobs fired them for words. These are, again, the same people. When we're talking about standards, these are the same people that just a month ago were advocating for going after doxing and firing, literally finding out people's job information and firing them if they said bad words about Charlie Kirk's death. The fucking inconsistency on the right is disgusting. We pick and choose when we want to actually be principled because nobody maintains the fucking standard. Limited government, private companies can make their own decisions, and even before we get to that, the standard of being a fucking solid, good person. Do you know why it's not difficult for me to get caught making fun of gay people, trans people, fucking whites, Jews, blacks, Asians, Mexicans, insert whatever. Do you know why it's not difficult for me to do that? Because I'm actually trying to live like Christ. If you call yourself Christian, you know what I mean by that. I'm actually going, what does race got to do with it? Well, you're white dude or black. If you're not explaining the person's physical characteristics to me because I got to meet him or something like that or whatever. Well, you know them white bulls. I don't give a fuck. What is he the problem is the standard is individualism, but many people on the right want the standard conveniently to be collective ideology. They want socialism when convenient in alignment with their political apparatus. You okay with collectivism when it's the other. And I'm saying that all across the board. Don't think because I'm black that you're going to be like, well, you know how them white bulls is. What white bulls? My white homies that'll kill a ghost for me? Them white bulls? I've traveled too many places. I've seen too many horrible things. I've seen how so many things are exactly the same across all of the board. Then we maintain a standard. But you know what happens? They don't want to see when you a political pundit. You just want to say the things to get the low. Okay, let's use me for example. I want to reach more people. So our classes, to get them involved in the Second Amendment community, each person will gravitate towards whatever level of shooting that they want to do. So I said, let's make the classes free. Let's make the classes basic. You come to BGM for basic classes, entry level. That person has the lowest amount of information as it relates to firearms and personal protection in the Second Amendment. That's my target audience. Does this mean I can't go shoot with Buck Doyle when I feel like it? No. Does it feel like I don't have 1,000 books on the subject? No. Does it feel like I didn't know this stuff since I was 15 and be interested in it? No. It just means for my agenda to get more people in, I begin with beginners and I target a certain demographic, and we've had success there. Apply that same logic to what these pundits and so-called conservative pundits are doing. That's defending this instead of maintaining a standard. The reason why they justifying it, Matt Walsh like, oh, we disagree in public. We should be disagreeing in private. No, you don't want a criticism and critique of the people that are not being Christian conservatives, culturally conservative, or limited government conservatives. You want your dirt to be on the back burner. That's what Democrats do. And they don't want to offend their low information base that just agrees with them. If I pandered to the low IQ, right-leaning voter, my fame would superstar. That would be great for me individually. It would be bad for the collective of America. Because I can communicate very fucking well. I communicate better than all of them fucking pundits. Where they gotta win on me is when I kept getting kicked off of social media. When I was at a few 100,000 on X, now I'm at 50,000. If you're watching on another platform, follow me on X. You follow me and tell me you follow me from the show, I'll follow you back. Right? Now they just try to ignore or act like we not cool because I don't have as many followers as I used to. And I see the game and I love it. I love it. Because when we get back to over 1 million, then it'll be a different dick ride again. Right? But I'm watching all these people on the right struggle with maintaining intellectual consistency. So they defend this stupid shit instead of going, yo, this is dumb. And these dumb people between the ages of 18 and 30, 38, 40, however the oldest, whatever person was, that has nothing to do with the forward movement of political wins. It has nothing to do with it. But then when I say it, they can act like, oh, when Matt Walsh made that video about me years ago, it's because, oh, he got 100,000 followers. Now they're going to ignore me. Y'all don't need to ignore what's being said, though. Call it out. The reason why these goofballs are repeating fucking Groyper, Nick Fuentes stupid shit that's going to come back to bite you in the ass because it's low IQ. It's easy to, everybody can articulate. You can just go on, what's the website? antiwar.com and get a thorough history of how the Israeli government has been fucking people over in the Middle East for however long. That's not difficult. Everybody can be sharp if you study how the Israeli government, notice I keep saying government because I'm not talking about the Israeli people, because the people are not always reflective of their government. Because if that was the case, that means all of America's down with pedophilia. Because our fucking government is working overtime to make sure that the fucking Epstein files don't come out. But nonetheless, I say Israeli government, and it's not difficult to critique the Israeli government because they're fucking horrible. It's not hard. You can just take the pictures of what Palestine looked like in 2020, whatever, 3, and now. These aren't targeted strikes. This isn't difficult to say. But the reason why some of the younger right Republicans are going this way is because not enough of us on the right are being loud about the stupid shit. We're not highlighting the actual principle of all men are created equal by their creator. Okay? That's all. That's all we got to do. But the young goofy people, it's edgy to say what Kanye was critical of. You notice Kanye didn't group all Jewish people. You notice Kanye didn't go, I hate all of the Jews. Even though he did that shock value Nazi shit, which I think was fucking stupid. It's just as stupid now when later the Nick Fuentes dick rides Kanye West and says it, but the hyperbolic bullshit along with it. And goofy, low information, low IQ voters, because it sounds good, because you can articulate it, and because the Israeli government does do fucked up shit, they go, yeah, this is what we're doing now. That has nothing to do with political wins. If you don't get the Latin vote, if we're talking about political wins, don't get the Latin vote, don't get the black vote, don't get the Indian vote. Why don't you get these votes? Because your pundits made you look like you down with fuck everything if it's not white. You're not calling their contradictions. So you look like you a part of that bullshit. These ain't college kids. JD Vance saying that stupid shit. The oldest person in these text messages was 2 years younger than JD Vance. JD Vance, shut the fuck up, you Peter Thiel puppet. Because you got your own list of attempting to try to create the surveillance state with Peter Thiel's hand all the way to fuck up your ass. Oh, it's nothing here, just kids being kids. But meanwhile, other groups of people, 15, 16, oh, we thought he was an adult. Get the fuck out of here. These ain't college kids. Maintain the fucking standard. Jokes need to be funny. You either riding with the founding documents and the ideal of America, or just identify the fact that hey, I'm a white nationalist. Cool. Be a white nationalist. Stop pretending like you limited government conservative when you just a white nationalist. Stop pretending like you culturally conservative and against cancel culture, but you'll do it when convenient. 2,900 pages of chats shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican Organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. See, now this is where Politico gonna get stupid. Politico gonna put their spin on it now. Politico gonna be like, yeah, it's all Donald Trump too. But you give them the fucking ammo. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, as one serves as state senator. Told you, they not kids, JD Vance, shut the fuck up. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator. Boys will be boys. Oh, shut the fuck up. Did y'all know that JD Vance changed his name like twice? That's not his name. These motherfuckers just don't have no standards because they flip-flop. Y'all know there's pictures of fucking JD Vance dressing up in drag, right? Since we're talking about, man, listen. Anyway, together the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump-era loosening of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the party's next leaders. You doofus motherfucking dorks. You doofus dorks walk right into what I've been telling people for forever. Hey, man, if you do this, you're going to play into the thing. And it's not because we're trying to convince extreme lefties that we're okay. We're not talking about fucking approval and validation from fucking weirdos. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about they are the minority, but on the extreme of the so-called left. Just like these goofballs and goobers are the minority of the extreme levels of the right. And I don't even think some of these goofies are even really that real. They just saying edgy stuff in a fucking Telegram group, right? But the middle ground, the vast majority of so-called moderates that are politically homeless, that are literally like, this fucking Biden-Harris shit was a fucking dunzo for me. Where can I go next? Because this ain't it. Then Politico goes, block that. Because they was coming across the aisle. But Politico goes, look, this what they are over here. Then you get these goofball fucking influencers go, yeah, the group chat should sound like that. Because they are appealing to their low IQ base to keep their X bucks going. They want their Twitter bucks. They want their Elon bucks. They want the engagement from the low IQ fucking masses that make up their particular base. This isn't complicated. We don't want to piss off the viewers. That's literally what the fucking leftists do when they in media positions. We don't want to, our following, our viewership may not like that. Elon told you, you're the media now. Now you playing them same media games that the way that the leftists do for your own individual gain. Or somebody that is paid, like a Matt Walsh. Keep them going this way. Don't actually solve the problem. Oh, I'm not racist. I'm just saying that using the N-word in America has more of a ramification than killing a white man. You fucking moron. These people never did a hard day's work. They don't understand that the people, us, middle America, low to poverty America, they don't be side by side with the motherfucker on the oil rig, on the offshore rig, the black, the white, the Latin. They don't do that type of work. They never put no work in the street. They never had to sell something with somebody and engage different people and identify different good and bad from all different ethnic backgrounds. They just get on these fucking microphones and don't say shit. They are aspiring to be the new elite that picks who the damn others are. You look at the Daily Wire, so-called conservatives, right? The Matt Walsh, all of them. They look like soft-hand pussy fucking elitists. Tell me where I'm wrong. The fucking Jordan Peterson with his dope fiend ass. Do they lift weights? Do anybody at the Daily Wire lift? Do anybody at the Daily Wire actually consistently shoot? No. They get behind microphones with their cute little manicured hands, telling black and white people and everything in between how, yo, you know it's the blacks, you know it's the whites, while they are funded by the Israeli government, for lack of a better term. Super quiet about the real shit, but want to tell you, no, this is okay. Not because you should be jumping out the window on this shit. You shouldn't be jumping out the window over these fucking texts. You should be critiquing where this is costing us political and potentially legislative wins. If this shit go to shit and America's not what it is, I promise you I'm gonna be all right. I promise you. I thought the fucking zombie apocalypse was happening in 2020. I wanted it low-key. I got a lot of shit that I want to see in my mind that fucking works. Okay? It's a lot of y'all that I made a list of. And if I come across you in the zombie apocalypse, I'm going to eat your face off. If this America go to shit, I'll be fine. But America won't be. Some of us will be fine. If you train, you learn how to grow food, you got a team, you somewhere where you can grow the food, you'll be fine. Or you somebody like me that I could do that and I'll just take your shit. If it get ugly in a war, I would definitely be a fucking warlord. It's not even a question. I will let being a I don't want to be a warlord. I don't want, because everybody's not built. You know how much death and destruction potentially could happen if America falls? And these are supposed to be in a position that are articulating these things and saying, nah, that ain't the standard. That's what I love about my military and criminal friends. This is the standard. My Marine friends say we just see different shades of green out this bitch. Can he do the job? No. Get him the fuck out of here. We don't care. Where's he from? We don't give a fuck. Can he do the job? Can he do the job? Yeah, cool. Is he superb? Is he a professional? There is no standard. And these microphone boys and these Twitter finger motherfuckers is making it about that because they got their own bigotry. You haven't, and you have the audacity to say you a Christian. You have the audacity to say you a Christian. Where in the Bible was Jesus like, yo, joke and talk shit about some of my other children when they're not around and joke about their death? Y'all understand that? Because you just was doing cancel culture on anybody that made fun of Charlie Kirk's death. So we get this. We get this. And now you got Politico making you look like fucking morons to potential moderates that might have been going a different direction. The more the political atmosphere is an open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of Trump. Now look at this key word here. It said the more the political atmosphere is open and liberating. That's a fucking Freudian slip. A political atmosphere is supposed to be open and liberating. Politico just tried to trick you into thinking that being an open and liberating political atmosphere is a bad thing. And Trump and freedom and liberation and open, this is what this means. That's not what open and free liberating. When people be like, yo, Maju, I do whatever I want. It just so happens that I want to self-improve all day. I want to help solutionaries all day. I want to inform people. I want to better my community, better myself, and better our country. That's what I want to do all day. That's what I want to do all day. Because that's in alignment with the standard. I'm chasing greatness. I'm chasing a standard. I'm chasing the founding documents. I'm chasing that energy. I'm chasing being Christ-like. And I keep bringing up Christ-like because we're talking about people that identify as Christian. But they don't want to make that be the case. Politico wants to make it seem like free and liberty means this type of racist shit and then tie it all directly back to Trump. And these goofballs keep falling for it. And the fucking pundits keep co-signing the dumb shit. Like it has been with the emergence of Trump and a more right-wing GOP even before him. It opens up young people and older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and public, said Joe Fegan, a Texas A&M sociology professor who has studied racism for the last 60 years. He's also concerned the words will be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views. I think that's bullshit, but they could get that off. They could get that off because that's what y'all gave them. But I think that's bullshit. I think it's stupid. But again, I'm not of the, like, oh my God, words ain't violence. Violence is. But your words, when you're trying to build something, shouldn't have anything to do with certain stupid shit. It's a bad tactic and strategy. The dynamic of easy racism and casual cruelty played out often in dark, vivid fashion inside the chats, where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into streams of slurs and violent fantasies. Now Politico is just fucking running with it. They just gonna run with it. It's hard to be principled and be a good person when the political left, or at least the extreme version of the political left, and their punditry is calling you racist all the time. When I started Black Guns Matter, right, people was calling me, you know, until they really understood, it was like, oh, he's a race baiter. I get called that now. By calling out this stupid shit today, across my platforms, Instagram and X, I got called a race baiter by saying, these guys needed a better tactic. This is stupid. Oh, you're a race baiter. If you're going to call me a racist anyway, I might as well be a racist. Imagine saying that if, you know how when girls get mad and they be like, you get mad. Joe just donated $25, y'all. Joe just donated $25. Joe, whoever you are, I ain't gonna say your last name. It begins with an H. If you're watching in the show, Joe, if you want to identify yourself, that's great. Joe just donated $25. Let's get 20 people at givesingo.com/solutionary to donate $25 to our Second Amendment work, because that's what this goes back into. I wasn't gonna do the show because I gotta focus on fundraising. And nighttime is y'all is at home and y'all in y'all phones. So guys, givesingo.com/solutionary is scrolling across the bottom. Joe H. Won't say your last name. If you want to identify yourself, you can. You just gave $25. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Let's get 20 folks that's watching. There's 492 of you watching right now. That's amazing. I like that it's a whole, fucking auditorium full of people watching this. I love it. Okay? I don't shit on people and be like, yo, my show only do this many views. That's 500 people listening to something that is solution-based. I appreciate all of you. Let me blow y'all mind, though. If all 496 of y'all donated at the $100 level, we will be done with fundraising tonight. We could buy our building. We're not going to be done with this until we keep building this shit and informing the people. That's what our building does. That's what our classes have done over the years. That's what the show does. Let me give y'all the talking points. Let me tell y'all where we playing the tactics wrong, playing better. Let's converse about it, even in our Solutionary non-private community. Every donor over $99 gets all of that too, right? We challenge each other. We had a chat today where Bobby was in there talking about firearms related stuff. And every so often I'll tap back in and be like, yo, this, and this, and this. For the beginners in the chat that don't know what this means, somebody break down what this mean. It damn near turns into this informative thing because we're helping each other, informing each other, transforming each other, holding ourselves up to a higher standard of what the founding documents were. That shit say all men were created equal. That don't mean this fake fugazi equality bullshit that the extreme leftists do. You was born with fingers, arms, and shit. That's what that means. Get out there and get to it. But we help each other. Okay? 497 of y'all watching. Imagine if everybody, I'm going to ask everybody to donate at the $100 level. I'll have your email. I'll send you the stuff, the access that I'm talking about. It's literally me. I'm gonna show y'all without showing y'all. That's the email that I just got from Joe. I'm gonna ask everybody to give it the $100 level. All right, I'm gonna put that on the screen right now. It's in the chat if you're watching on YouTube. It's that link right there. Okay? This is me critiquing bad strategy. This is not me saying, let's be leftists. Fuck no, that doesn't work. This is also us identifying that this constant focus on leftists, we beat them already. When we do stuff like this, we hand them sections of wins back. There's the fact that there are young people on the right that are, why ain't they emulating the abolitionist Frederick Douglass? Why aren't they emulating John Brown? Why? Because young Republicans and people on the right aren't telling them about that. Libertarians, why aren't we talking about Murray Rothbard? Why aren't we talking about Austrian economics? We're in the middle of the Bitcoin situation, which showcases that we need more sound money policy. Conservatives, you are supposed to be on limited government and fiscally disciplined spending. You should be talking about sound money policy in your goddamn national group chat. But the pundits aren't saying that because they don't want to look like they're attacking. No, you should get rid of certain shit that's stupid for the movement. This was 1000% stupid for the movement. But if you just want to be a white nationalist, go ahead. So we can, what's his name? Groyper boy? They're white nationalists. I don't take them serious. They don't speak for most white Americans. From the left all the way to the, even though he hasn't done a day's fucking hard work in his life, Even though he contradicts himself consistently. Oh, the blacks. Dick riding Kanye. Kanye is fuck out of here. But the reason why these young people are gravitating towards that, same reason they gravitate towards Andrew Tate. Even the broke clock is right twice a day. And they can articulate it well, and they speak well and all that, because we fail to give them solid, better examples. I'm one of them for sure. But we got to fundraise, get this other part done so we can expand on what the fuck is happening out here. So we can highlight more people. It's 505 of y'all watching right now. The link's right there on the screen. If 500 people donate $100, that would be insane. Insane. Let's read a little bit more of this before we wrap up, y'all. Politico went bars on this. They went crazy on this. The dynamic of easy casualty, in the dark, vivid fashion inside of the chat. They damn near writing a novel off this stupid shit. The group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's child sex crimes. Of course, Politico was going to talk about that. Because we not talking about it. We not loud. We, on the conservative side, some Republicans are attacking Thomas Massie. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is literally right now trying desperately to not come back to work. So because Massie already got the 218 votes. So that's a Republican running cover for the pedophiles. But I thought we wanted the Epstein list. That's a contradiction. And then you get Matt Walsh saying, let's not disagree in public. No, certain shit that's wrong needs to get disagreed with in public. I don't give a fuck who says it. Malcolm X said, I'm for truth. I'm for what's right, regardless of whoever says it. But we not saying it. Then they get sold out by somebody. I don't even know how Politico got this shit. But anyway, the Telegram group gets exposed, and now Politico run with it. Look, they defending fucking the Epstein dude. Can't call them liars. Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files. Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans, wrote in one instance. Dwyer and KayKaty declined to comment. Maligno and Hendrix did not return requests for comment. But some involved in the chat did respond publicly. Giunta said, whatever the name is, claimed the release of the chat is part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax and the New York City Young Republican Club, an allusion to a once obscured internecine war that is now spilled into the open. Here's the fun part. They couldn't use it if for 7 months y'all wasn't wasting time joking about stupid shit instead of coming up with strategy. You want to talk about the fucking Epstein files? What was the strategy to get young Republicans to pressure older boomer Republicans in the political sphere to get those 218 votes? Where was that at? Where was that? I didn't hear none of that come up in the political story. Y'all mentioned it and joke about it, but you're not turning the tactic into a strategy because you're too busy joking about killing Jews, all of them. But now it's a year-long conspiracy against you. I can't trick you with a honeypot if you don't receive the honeypot. These logs were sourced by way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, which means it wasn't fucking Telegram, because I've seen some people like, oh, they must be breaching data. There was no fucking data breach. You goofballs was never from the street, so you was texting a whole bunch of shit that street motherfuckers, black, white, or anybody that you want to make fun of, anybody that has any type of street experience knows we not leaving a fucking paper trail. It's not a big conspiracy, bro. Your homies had a disagreement like girls, and they gave your shit to Politico. It's not complicated. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not this big global fucking Peter Thiel level surveillance state with Elon Musk. And no, you goofballs were doing goofball shit. He knew you had goofball shit. He wanted to attack you, so he gave your shit to a leftist rag. That's what happened. But you know how that couldn't have happened? if you was focused on the fucking work, if you was being Christ-like, if you were coming up with actual tactics to actually benefit Americans, if you weren't being collectivists and judging people as the individuals, limited government shit, culturally conservative shit. What's most disheartening is that despite my unwavering support of President Trump since 2016, rogue members of his administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy to ruin me publicly simply because I challenged them privately. Some people did whatever. They apologized. Fucking da. A notarized affidavit signed by Bartels and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the intra-party rivalry that led to Restore Your War Room Telegram chat to be made public. Bartels references Wax as well. I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers no more. These goofballs did that shit because they had their reasons for doing it. But oh, what about this? This is Mike Johnson. With who? The one of the goofballs that said rape is epic. Now, I'm not doing the guilty by association thing. I'm just telling you, if you're this close to these halls of political power, you should be thinking about what the fuck you put in your types, in your text. Even outside of just thinking about what you put in your text, right? This is what you also should do. You should actually fucking live the things. So it's not, you won't have to struggle so hard. When we teaching people how to get in shape and I come up with their macros and their workout routines and their meal plan, throw that bullshit out of your house. The snacks, throw it out. You're not strong enough to be around the fucking ding-dongs and cream pies and cupcakes and blueberry muffins. You're not. You're not. Y'all hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. You're not strong enough to be around those things, so maybe you should strengthen yourself. Here's how you strengthen yourself. By actually living the Bible. By actually living the Quran. By actually living the Torah. You a Jew? Okay, cool. How many times did you pray today? You Muslim? You're not about war and all of that? Because Islam is of peace. Muslim, one of peace. Okay, cool. How many times did you pray today? Oh, you Christian? Oh, cool. Dope. You should be doing the shit that Christ was like, hey, let's be Christ-like. So you wouldn't have to worry. I would never write a sentence, rape is epic. I would never write that. I would never write rape is epic. Because rape is not epic. It's degeneracy. Oh, but you conservative culturally. It's degeneracy. I wouldn't even joke. I don't do lowbrow humor. I don't do like passing gas jokes. I don't do physical comedy, that Jim Carrey shit back in the day. That's not funny to me. Dark humor and dry humor is funny to me because it takes a different level of intellect. But there's certain dark humor, like, bro, a certain shit I'm just not doing. And if you're this close to the halls of power politically, why are you even saying that, bro? This Hannah. Hannah has this amazing sentence here, and I want to say this and then wrap up. It's so crazy how when I first got politically active, Republican men were the polished, pretty boy types with their dad's country club membership and an actual collection of books. Now they're losers in their 30s that look like this, joking about raping women and other people smelling bad as if you can't smell these pics from a mile away. It's so bleak. Respectability politics was holding this whole country up. Let me be very clear. I fuck with Hannah. We follow each other. Okay? Hannah is calling out this shit harder than most of you fucking men. Because y'all want to be in the in crowd. Y'all want to be, I don't give a fuck. If they ain't solutionary, they wrong. I don't want to be on nobody's show. I just want to talk to y'all every day. I want to serve y'all every day. I want to serve our communities every day. Hannah going harder against this obvious stupid shit. Look at these motherfuckers. Look at these we ain't even got a quality class of bully now. And I'm not disparaging them because people are fat. It happens. But if you're not actively, if you were working on yourself and improving self, body, spirit, mind, if you was working on yourself trying to lose weight, you would change your mind in a certain, if you was tied into that Christian faith, you definitely wouldn't type a sentence like rape is epic, even as a joke. So this is how we see the bullshit. But we ain't seeing the men, some, we ain't seeing it as much though as it needs to be though. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. This is why we have to create the type of situation that we want. Solutionaries are nuanced. Solutionaries are balanced. Solutionaries call things that's right objective. We are solution-based. We're not going to let this slide. Y'all, this shit didn't come out privately. It came out publicly. So we're going to say, we ain't with that. Now some of these same pundits are like, how dare you disavow them? Because they doing shitty people shit. That's why we disavow. But again, this ain't calling for cancel culture. This is for critique of the tactic and the strategy and looking at who is defending this stupid shit. At worst, they group chats is disrespecting a whole bunch of other Americans and it's not a homie circle busting each other's balls. That's at worst. And at best, they justifying it because they know that their following in their base is low IQ. They got them bigoted mindset talking points. So they want to feed red. Oh man, we shouldn't be apologizing to the libs. This don't got shit to do with the libs. This don't got shit to do with the libs. This has to do with y'all creating or not creating solid representation and representatives of what it means to be limited government conservative, because it's all turned into a fucking grift. So now you can't offend your Twitter following because you got 200,000-300,000 Twitter followers, ex-followers, and you got to get them engaging and saying stuff so you can get the Elon bucks. I can't wait till they get rid of the monetization off the X. That shit trash anyway. They picking and choosing who they want to do it. There's no fucking rhyme or reason. Would you still be talking this shit if it wasn't about being paid? Maybe you motherfuckers would have to get a real hustle, have to create a real company, have to actually serve people in a real way, helping people getting smarter, helping people get in better shape, help people get their mind right, help people practice their spiritual path. Maybe you'd actually have to be a fucking benefit to the world. Maybe you'd have to create your own fucking company or get a job working in a system in a company that's in alignment with your values. But no, these motherfuckers all get behind microphones and say shit, and then they doing it for the algorithm. Do it for YouTube over here, do it for Instagram over here, do it for Facebook over here, with no actual principle standards and an actual vocation. A vocation means your calling. I can't wait for this shit to be done. That's why I'm so glad the record label stopped putting money behind rap like that. MTV a couple of days ago got rid of their music video channels. I'm so glad the real artist that really is about that action gonna show up. Y'all conservatives, excellent point, Mahogany. Conservatives, but Elon got 19 baby mamas. But you want to talk about black people and they find that, you understand? Your focus is all the way wrong. Put it towards the focus. But these guys, these types, we got to show them the way. We got to be that. We have to build and create the motherfuckers that we respect. Because I got respect for very few of them. And as I'm watching who's defending what behind this shit, not that the words themselves were super deep and I'm calling for cancel culture, but I'm watching how people have bad tactics at best and bigoted mindset that thinks that type of shit is cool for other Americans that you don't know and never met at worst. So we got to be that example, which is why I'm asking everybody to support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Guys, there's 545 of you watching. If every single one of you donated $100, we will be over our donor level. I'm going to ask 20 people to do that at the $100 level. Everybody else, Let's get 20 people to match at the $25 level that Joe just did. Appreciate you for that, Joe. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Get access to all of the video modules. The videos come directly to you. It ain't a class like you got to sit there at a certain time. The video modules, you take them at your pace. Okay? Take them at your pace. Macros, meal plans, shooting drills, private community, all of those videos, understanding imminent threat. Transformative information that helps us get more improved, more strong, and then we tackle the extreme leftist agenda based on principles, civics, political wins. I can go into these rooms and stand on my own too, because I'm well-rounded with such transformative information. We've taken 8 years of my travels around some of the smartest, most skilled, most whatever people, distilled it into solutions in some of the primary areas to translate it to you so you can get empowered. I don't want you to be out of shape. Because you're out of shape. People don't take you as serious. Sorry. I don't want you to be not as intelligent. I don't want you to be risking your life because you have no emotional control. What it looks like is an empowered being that is on these lands that says the content of my character is what I'm going to be judged by, and that's how I'm going to judge others by. But my character and that content of it is so empowered because I've sat myself through the study, the progress, the evolution. That's what Solutionary University represents. That's what the Solutionary lifestyle represents. That's what you will represent once you go through these things. This is the feeling that it's hard. I can explain shit, but it's almost like not even doing it justice. You see through the bullshit on both so-called sides. So anyway, guys, GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I want to thank you all for tapping in. I know I said I was going to keep the show 45 minutes. I went over again. I missed y'all. Ain't talked to y'all in a couple of days. Missed y'all. We're going to keep the show tomorrow night again. We're going right back at it. Guys, hit me up. You got some questions, shoot me a DM, whatever platform you're watching this on right after. I'm going to be on engaging you guys and posting some content. Guys, get the classes. The online classes individually are only $20. That's at solutionaryuniversity.org. But I would recommend that you guys help us with our Second Amendment work. Help us buy our Solutionary Center. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. We need about 430 something donors at the $100 level. You get access to all of those things for being a donor at the $100 level. And it's a 2-for-1. You help us pay it forward and help others, and you get access to all of those things as well. But give what you can. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Thank you all for tapping in. Share this space all over the place. Shoot me DMs or emails. I will be engaging you all over the next few. Share the space, donate towards the work, GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Thank you all for tapping in. I will see you all tomorrow. Be safe, be solutionary.